तो रिकॉर्ड करते हैं। पहले नायडू's remark on animal fat in Tirumala Laddu spark row. तो आंध्र प्रदेश चीफ मिनिस्टर चंद्रबाबू नायडू claimed that ghee adulterated with animal fat was used to make laddu prasadam at the Tirumala shrine during the YSRCP tenure. तो ये है, इसने बोला है कि एनिमल फैट से ही बनाते थे प्रसादम जो कि लड्डू देते थे। तो at the meeting organized on the Wednesday in Vijayawada to celebrate 100th day of NDA term in the state, the Naidu mentioned about the alleged adulteration of ghee, including the addition of animal fat used for the preparing the sacred offering at the Tirumala temple. अब ये सब है तो अपन को याद रखना तिरुमाला टेम्पल न्यूज़ में आ गया और ये जो लड्डू है ये भी न्यूज़ में आ गए। कौन से? अब ये कौन से लड्डू हैं ये तो पता नहीं, पर तिरुमाला वो तो जरूर आ गया न्यूज़ में। तो कहाँ पर है ये याद रख लेना है अपन को। अब जो तिरुमाला लड्डू है इसको क्या है ना, जीआई टैग मिला है 2014 में, तो ये भी याद रखना है कौन सा, तिरुमाला लड्डू। और ये है आंध्र प्रदेश में कौन सा, तिरुमाला टेम्पल। तो ये हो गई अपनी पहली न्यूज़। एक न्यूज़ ये है, पुटिंग आउट फायर्स एवरीवेयर। An aeroplane drops water on the fire field near Frioxia, Portugal, the country in the southwestern Europe, and is fighting multiple wildfires and has mobilized more than 5,000 firefighters to contain them. At least 6 people have been died so far, and a number of residents have been forced to flee their homes. The fires have been caused by hot, dry conditions. Meanwhile, Central Europe is trying to contain flood caused by heavy downpours. तो ये चल रहा है न्यूज़ में। तो पुर्तगाल में क्या चल रही है, वाइल्ड फायर हो रही है, और जो अपना पूरा यूरोप है वहाँ पे, मिडिल यूरोप है वहाँ पे बाढ़ के हालात हैं। ठीक है। एक न्यूज़ ये है कि इंडिया एब्सटेन टू फ्रॉम वोटिंग ऑन यूएनजीए रिजोल्यूशन अगेंस्ट इजराइल से ऑक्यूपेशन। तो efforts of the United Nations should be to build a bridge between Israel and Palestine side, India said, explaining a decision to abstain from the resolution at UNGA Assembly that called on Israel to vacate Palestine territory on the basis of opinion by the International Court of Justice. India was among the 43 nations that abstained from the resolution, which was adopted by UN body as more than two-thirds of the countries present. A massive 124 of 181 voted in the favor of it. Source said the resolution call for the sanction and stopping arms export to Israel may have been also spewed India decision to abstain. तो सीधी बात है कि इन्होंने बोला है कि एक तो है ना, इन दोनों का जो वॉर है उसको खत्म किया जाए, इसके लिए यूएनजीए में क्या है ना, एक वो हुई समिट, और उसमें इंडिया ने एब्सटेन कर दिया वोटिंग से। सीधी बात तो ये है। फिर देख, our joint efforts should be directed toward bring the two sides closer, not drive them further apart. We should strive toward building bridges, not furthering the divide, the Indian permanent representative to United States Harish said in the explanation of vote after the abstention. ठीक है? In the explanation, Mr. Harish reiterated India's position on two-state solution for Israel-Palestine peace and importance of UN Charter. He also repeated India's formulation of violence, which blamed neither Hamas for terrorist attack in 2023 that killed over 1,200 and taking of 250 hostages, nor named Israel for the reprisal bombardment of the Gaza and the West Bank that has left more than 35,000 dead, including nearly 15,000 children according to UN data. तो इन सब की बात कर रहे हैं, पर इंडिया ने क्या है, याद रखना है कि अब एब्सटेन कर दिया है यहाँ पे वोटिंग से। सीधी बात तो यही है। अब एक ये न्यूज़ है, इंडिया in the initial days of the Gaza offensive, Israel required artillery shells, but India took a policy decision not to supply them, according to defense sources, who also stated that India is firmly neutral between Russia and Ukraine and has taken a stand not to supply kinetic equipment either of them. In the initial days of their Gaza offensive, they needed artillery shell 155 mm and 105 mm, but we took a policy decision not to supply them, Israel itself is unable to honor its commitment. What they are supposed to supply, they are using it for themselves. A defense source with knowledge of matter said on condition of anonymity while stressing that there is a very little that really goes from India. This is also highlight India's vulnerability due to the extreme dependence on defense import deliveries of system spares and supplies and ammunition have been suffered delay from Russia as well. It is India which is dependent on Israel for the defense supplies. Deliveries of some have been impacted due to their own requirement following the current situation. तो सीधी बात ये है। तो ये बात कर रहे हैं कि हमने कुछ भी अभी सप्लाई नहीं किया है उनको और वो खुद ही हमसे मांग रहे हैं क्योंकि उनकी खुद की हालत सही नहीं है, ठीक है। On Thursday, described as inaccurate, a media report that said artillery shells sold by Indian arms manufacturer have been diverted by European customer to Ukraine, and New Delhi has not intervened to stop it. We have seen the Reuters report. It is a speculative and misleading Ministry of External Affairs. तो कह रहे हैं कि एक रिपोर्ट आई जिसमें बोला है कि इंडिया की जो भी आर्टिलरीज हैं और ये चाहिए इंडिया को आर्म्स मैन्युफैक्चरर हैं वो इंडिया की जगह उनको डाइवर्ट कर रहे हैं दूसरी कंट्री को जैसे यूक्रेन को हो गई और उनको तो इंडिया को नहीं मिल पा रही है तो इंडिया वाले कह रहे हैं कि भाई ऐसा कुछ भी नहीं है ये सब गलत है ठीक है तो इंडिया वालों को सब मिल रहा है एक न्यूज़ ये है कि इंडिया शुड इंक्रीज कोर्ट सिस्टम कैपेसिटी रिड्यूस पेंडिंग ट्रायल्स एफएटीएफ तो इंडिया शुड एम टू रिड्यूस द नंबर ऑफ पेंडिंग ट्रायल इन मनी लॉन्ड्रिंग केसेस बाय मेकिंग मेजर चेंजेस to increase the capacity of court system and potential the capability of the enforcement directorate as per the financial action task force mutual as असेसमेंट रिपोर्ट ऑफ इंडिया तो उन्होंने कहा है कि अपने जो ये मनी लॉन्ड्रिंग के केस है इसमें इंडिया को अपने कोर्ट्स की कैपेसिटी सुधारने की जरूरत है और उनकी कैपेबिलिटी या पोटेंशियल ईडी की उसको भी सुधारने की जरूरत है द मेजर चेंज टू एड्रेस डिलेइंग रिलेटिंग टू prosecution of the prosecution of the terror financing cases have also been suggested. Although the conviction rate stand at almost 97%, there are a number of factors that may explain low number of prosecution over the evaluation period. One important reason related to constitutional challenge through the 121 petition to PMLA provision since 2018, which put on hold a number of trials and was only disposed by the Supreme Court. ठीक है during the check period 4,163 investigation were initiated and 132 dropped later. Prosecution complaint filed in 864 cases while 28 convictions were secured by ED and the agency faced only one acquittal. So FATA observed that challenges were made to several power of the ED under the PMLA that would impact their investigation and prosecution over the period. The issue under the challenge were ultimately decided in favor of ED and the provision of PMLA were upheld. Although there are still legal challenges relating to PMLA which are awaiting decision in the Supreme Court. And this has not impacted PMLA prosecution since the 2022 decision. अब ये कह रहा है saturation of system. It is said the limited number of specialized prosecutor in ED and special court judges also contributed the saturation of judicial system. So inability to prosecute. However, FATF said the country had achieved a high level of technical compliance across the FATF recommendation. The FATF report observed that India faces serious terrorism and terror financing threat, including related to Islamic State और स्टेट और अलकायदा तो सीधी बात है वो पहले कह रहा है कि इनसे अलकायदा से इंडिया को बहुत ज़्यादा सीरियस वो थ्रेट है फिर वो कह रहा है कि इंडिया को अपने जो पीएमएल है उसमें बहुत कम लोगों को कन्विक्ट किया है बहुत कम लोगों को प्रोसिक्यूट किया है तो इसके लिए ज़रूरत है कि अपना सिस्टम को अच्छा करें ठीक है स्पेशल जजेस बुलाएं ईडी के अंदर भी रिफॉर्म करें तो उन सब की बात कर रहा है और ये कहा ये एफएटीएफ की एक रिपोर्ट आई है Center to create new animation VFX center to create 5 lakh jobs say information broadcasting minister Union Minister Information and Broadcasting Ashwini Vaishnav on Thursday said the National Center of Excellence NCOE for Animation visual effect, gaming, comic, and extended reality to be set up uh, by the center will have to potential to create about 5 lakh jobs. The film like RRR, Bahubali, and Lion King and Avatar have demonstrated the immense potential of animation, immersive technologies. India's animation, visual effect, gaming, and comic sector is poised for explosive growth with the vast opportunities for employment and innovation. The ministry said in the post on X, what does the AVGC and the immersive tech cover? Immersive technologies create lifelike interactive experience. This includes virtual reality, augmented reality, mixed reality, 3D modeling and animation. Whether you are 3D animator, VR, AR creator, game developer or comic artist, this is your प्लेग्राउंड ही सेड। तो ये सब है। और अगला चलें तो वाइट रिवॉल्यूशन 2.0 टू एम्पावर द वुमेन fight malnutrition, Amit Shah. The Union Home and Cooperative Minister Amit Shah on the Thursday launched the standard operating procedure for the White Revolution 2.0, stating that the milk dairies will empower the women and fight against the malnutrition. Mr. Shah said that according to Western concept, a woman is considered unemployed even though she does all the work at home, but he disagreed with it. He said white revolution 2.0 will help inclusion of women engaged in procurement of milk in the formal employment as the money will be deposited in their bank account. The scheme aimed to increase procurement led by the cooperative from the present 660 lakh liter per day to 1000 lakh liter. Union Minister for Fisheries, Animal Husbandry and Dairy and Panchayati Raj Rajiv Ranjan Singh was also present at the lodge. Mr. Shah said, in the past 70 years, necessary changes in the cooperative were not made due to which the bodies became very successful in some states and were left to the mercy of state government in other. He said the government has prepared a joint proposal of 2 lakh primary agriculture cooperative society packs dairy and fishery cooperative and sent it across the country and all the states have accepted it. He said that once the packs are registered there will be not be a single panchayat without packs dairy and fisheries cooperative societies. The ministry said once this happens, cooperative will be able to reach the whole country, which will be led to creation of cooperative institution at the तहसील district. तो सीधी बात है कॉपरेटिव्स की बात कर रहा है और ये सीधी बात है वाइट रिवोल्यूशन की बात कर रहा है तो ये अपन को भी याद रखना है और कोऑपरेटिव कब अपने जोड़ा कब आर्टिकल 19 में जोड़ा कब उसमें जोड़ा ठीक है कौन से कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन अमेंडमेंट से आया तो ये अपन को याद रखना है 43 वाले में कब जोड़ा तो वो सब अब एक न्यूज़ ये है कि ताइवान रिकॉग्नाइज सेम सेक्स यूनियन बिटवीन चाइनीज एंड ताइवानीज तो सेम sex Taiwanese Chinese couple are now legally able to register their marriage in Taiwan. Taipei said recognizing cross state union for the first time. Taiwan has long been a forefront of Asia's bureau going ongoing LGBTQ right movement, becoming in the 2019 the first place in the region to legalize the marriage equality. तो ये ताइवान ने किया है अभी